Hello, this is Stefan again from S. Christoph.online. Today we'll talk about my latest blog post, the finale of the Laws and Disorder series. This one is Amara's Law. It's not AGI, but the value is already real. We overrate a technology in year 1 and underrate it by year 5. Roy Amara, who led the Institute for the Future, gave us the line. We tend to overestimate the effect of a technology in the short run and underestimate the effect in the long run. Gartner's hype cycle draws the same insight as a shape: a peak of inflated expectations, a trough of disillusionment, then a slope of enlightenment onto a plateau of real productive use. Put them together and you get a practical stance: skepticism about the short-term hype, patience about the long-term value. This is the curve. The peak of inflated expectations, labeled AGI hype and fear, the trough of disillusionment, the slope of enlightenment, where the real value lives. Boilerplate, gone, humans on higher level work. And the plateau of productivity. The AGI peak is the overestimate. The quiet, useful AI on the slope is what we underrate. The move is to place your workload on the curve and capture value now. My job as a solutions architect is, in large part, to walk teams and customers through this life cycle. Not to sell the peak and not to sneer from the trough, but to help people get to the slope, where a technology is neither magic nor a disappointment, but simply useful for a specific job. That role exists because the distillation of any real innovation takes time, and innovations almost always show up wrapped in hype. Now, I'll be explicit that this is my personal opinion as of 2026, not settled fact. The sum of AI carries an enormous load of inflated expectations, and a lot of it has been packed into one word: AGI. My view is that there is currently no indication that artificial general intelligence is achievable with the present set of technologies. The AGI framing over promises, which sets up the inevitable trough, and it's been used to stoke fear, which keeps people from capturing value sitting right in front of them. You might say, no sign AGI is reachable with current tech. Isn't that a big claim? It is, which is why I frame it explicitly as my personal opinion as of 2026. Linked to a prior post where I reasoned it out. And to be clear, this isn't AI skeptic clickbait. The post is pro-adoption. The warning is that AGI fear keeps people from the value that's already here. Here's the balancing truth. Even though it is not AGI, there's a great deal of real value in adopting AI right now. This isn't a forecast, it's what I see firsthand in my own work and with customers. It removes the joyless boilerplate, the tedious scaffolding, and frees people for the higher level work they're actually good at and enjoy. Both halves are true simultaneously. The AGI peak is the short-term overestimate, and the quiet, already useful AI is the long-term value we underrate. But isn't the value is already real also just hype in the other direction? Fair challenge. That's why I ground it as first-hand observation, what I see in my own work and with customers, framed as observation, not a fabricated productivity statistic. You don't have to choose between hype and doom, you can decline both and pick up the value. So the question I encourage people to ask is not, is AI overhyped? It's two better questions. Where is this technology on the curve for my specific workload? Not in the headlines, but for the concrete thing I'm trying to do. And what value can I capture today without betting on AGI? The solutions architect's role is to stand on the slope of enlightenment and help customers walk there to a productive, right-sized adoption for a real use case. And a note to close the series. These 6 laws have a quiet thing in common. None of them is a law of physics. They're heuristics that survived a lot of hype cycles precisely because they keep being true across them. It's a small Lindy joke to end on. The ideas that last are usually the boring, well-worn ones, not the ones on the peak. Conways, Hirams, Teslers, Gauss, Goodharts, and Amaras explain the newest thing on your roadmap better than most of the newest thinking about it does. This is the primary source, Roy Amara, who led the Institute for the Future, and the attribution and phrasing of Amara's law that the whole post rests on. And a fitting tab to close on, the laws of software engineering collection that sparked this whole series. If you enjoyed Laws and Disorder, this is a great place to keep browsing. There's no shortage of laws and no shortage of disorder. Thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. If so, you can reach out on LinkedIn directly or head to my blog at s.christoph.online. Let's keep in touch. Take care.